This conference will now be recorded.
The zoning board meeting for April 19th of 2022 to order. Just so you guys are all aware, we have a little bit of a capacity issue in the building here. We can technically only have 30 people up here. So we've been deciding back and forth about the best way to handle this going forward. And I think it's no question that we should move the Anchorage development to a later date at the Tilton PD. And that's going to be May 5th. Actually, I apologize, May 3rd. At the Tilton PD is what we're not doing.
Until you bring it to the floor, so you can make a decision.
Yeah, we're not going to continue. We got to bring it to the floor. So we're not. I guess what I'm trying to say is we're not going to hear that whole case tonight. We are, as a board, going to make a decision about whether this particular variance has a development of regional impact, in the interest of not having it get continued again. So if we wait till the next meeting to make a decision on that, then we'll have to notice the surrounding towns, push the meeting out even further. So that's the only piece of it. We as a board, I don't know if we have a vote on
I
it.
don't know. Yeah, you vote on it.
We have a vote on moving it to another date.
And then make a motion to continue.
So that's the part we're going to talk about as a board tonight, just because we are way over capacity for the 30 people we have up here. Yep.
What is the seating capacity at the police station?
I believe it's
About 75 is what we're
And the
understanding.
capacity here is?
30.
Will there be public input accepted tonight?
Not on the Anchorage development.
Will there be at the meeting you're going to make a motion on?
Correct, yes.
Thank you.
And tell them normally there would be public input.
Yeah, normally they would have public input. We just are way over capacity, so we're just making a move in that we don't want the building to collapse while we're all standing up here. So we're going to move it to another time.
Safety issue.
Okay, so any motions on that? On moving the meeting to another date?
No, first you're gonna, if you
Oh,
go to another date,
you're
then
right.
you won't be able to make any decisions on it.
You're right. We have to move the Anchorage first.
Right.
Need a motion to move it to the first case here.
Move it up in the agenda.
Okay.
Because they're third.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Is there other people here for other,
I'm sure I guess anyone here not for the Anchorage, can you raise your hand?
Two.
There's 4, 6 people.
I think we're at 45, so now you're down to 39.
that they would, I'm wondering if 4 more people could leave and we can move forward.
No, because
I certainly cannot do that.
No,
I cannot. ask
everybody
that.
should have input.
We are going to move this case 2 weeks from now, and it'll be at the police station.
okay, this isn't.
Right.
Yeah,
This is a board vote.
Too many people in the room.
Yeah, so it will be moved.
I'm certainly not going to try to inhibit anybody's ability to speak by asking to leave. So the decision's going to be of the board, I would imagine, to move it. But let's get this to the first case first.
Yeah, motion.
So we're doing this
I
right.
motion to move ZB 22-05 to be positioned at the first of the public hearings for this evening on April 19th, 2022.
Go ahead.
I second it.
All right, motion made and seconded. Those in favor of moving case ZB 22-05 first, say aye.
Aye.
Obviously, the ayes have it. Okay, so we can now talk about that first, technically. So the question at hand is whether we move the meeting,
No.
No. This-
determine this piece. Okay,
Once you move it, you're done.
we're all, okay, I apologize. So we have to decide about whether this is a development of regional impact as it pertains to the variance that they're asking for.
Sure.
Which is a height variance. So the qualifications that they give us are a relative size or number of dwellings as compared to what exists, proximity to the borders of a neighboring community, transportation networks, anticipated emissions, proximity to aquifers or surface waters which transcend municipal boundaries, and shared facilities such as schools or solid waste disposal facilities. And so the question is whether that variance that they're asking for, do we feel it falls into a regional impact or development of regional impact?
Do we take a vote on this?
Yeah, you can
How do you
discuss
word
it and then pick a vote.
Oh,
Make a
I think we
motion
should.
I think that it's a safe thing no matter what.
Yes, I would-
Right.
I would
Mhm.
definitely.
I'll take a motion.
How do you word this?
Make a motion that we find this project a development of regional impact.
Go ahead, Dan.
Okay, I make a motion that we find ZB case 22-05, a development of regional impact. I'm saying on the qualifier that it's proximity to an aquifer, surface water that transcends municipal boundaries. And as such, we notice the surrounding towns.
I second that motion.
Any other discussion? All right, we have a motion. Those in favor?
All right,
Aye.
And aye, the ayes have it. So we will make it a development of regional impact. And now we'll talk about,
Now we
Now we make a motion to move it.
yes. All right, so none of the facts have changed on that. We still have the same number of people. In theory, there more could show up later because it was supposed to be the third case, not the first case. So we might have more people to filter in as the time goes on.
Oh, no, you have a justifiable reason for moving it.
I think
That's continuing what till May what?
On the hotel.
May what?
Does it make sense? Some of us, I saw quite a few questions. Would it make sense to have to send it to the board before the meeting?
Yes, they can send in
Instead of me
comments and
standing up to the mic and asking 15 questions.
You can absolutely send in questions
Yeah.
in your comments
Who do I
beforehand.
address it to?
I'll get you my card to email in a minute, okay?
Does anyone else have any kind of questions like that before we move on this?
You said regional impact for the surrounding towns.
Mhm.
How does that affect the other towns?
What it allows the other towns is the opportunity to voice how they feel about it.
How about residents?
I don't know the answer to that. I think Leanne would be able to answer that better.
The notice goes to the planning board of the abutting towns, and then they will respond. The planning board responds.
Question, just point of clarification, can you legally continue this meeting if you're over capacity?
He's-
Well,
Fire safety perspective?
We're trying to end it. I'm just trying to give it a fair chase for these little things here. But yes, we are. That is the point we're moving towards for sure.
go ahead and make a
Continue and let them
motion.
know.
yeah.
All right, I'll do the next motion. All right, I make a motion that we move case ZB 22-05 to May 3rd at the Tilton Police Station due to being over capacity for the building.
Again, abutters will not receive another notice, so know that that's why it's being announced here, May 3rd.
I second that.
It's been seconded. Any discussion?
Nope.
None? Those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? None?
Six
Same
o'clock.
time.
Same time,
Same time,
6 o'clock, 2 weeks.
police station.
Police station.
Sorry for coming and pushing it
All
out.
right.
It should almost end already. This is going to be
Can I ask a question?
hours, sure.
Yeah, so if people were not able to attend tonight because they had a conflict, they would be able to come on May 3rd, but how would they find out? Like, we know.
The town will notice it. So that's why well, they won't notice of butters. The town will have to post the notice of the meeting. It'll be on the town website or posted downstairs.
All right, because we're in Mass, but we all
There'll be a public,
right next to it.
there'll be a public.
There'll be some kind of a public notice.
And if you want,
Well,
you
it's gonna be on the.
you can put the word out to,
Right.
you know, whoever you're
Right.
talking with too.
And like, how many invitations did you send out? How many notices went out in the mail, do you know?
Whatever the number of butters are, yeah, I can tell you.
I had it on my iPad.
I got it here.
Okay, but they're right, they're available.
The copies of.
We
That
have-
I don't.
I don't
we have.
know whether
Yeah,
they
but
public.
I believe all the plans and everything are online.
Yes, they are.
Oh, they are. Sir, the plans are online for what's happening.
I went on Facebook and I didn't have the link. I tried searching
Try-
No,
everything.
you go
I couldn't get it.
Go to the town of Tilton.
And look under preserve, don't look under Anchorage.
Yeah.
Or type in the
yeah.
address.
If I don't get it, I can come. I don't know.
Okay, okay.
They notified 22 abutters.
Okay. I was just, I'm like, I'm hoping you don't have more people and the police station isn't big enough.
Oh, 75?
75.
I mean,
75 is pretty, and that also like.
I
a
don't
little
have
bit.
any history here, so I'm just trying to,
well, I think that's a
This is the
concrete
most number
floor.
of people that have ever showed up to a zoning board meeting ever in 4 years.
yeah, yeah,
You can mail stuff in too.
yeah,
You know, a letter.
right, right.
Yeah, if you couldn't make it and you wanted your comments heard,
Yes.
you could mail in a letter.
I was more concerned about the communication, especially with the change in the date. And, you know, we went through backflips to get here tonight, but so that's fine. My other question is, when you talk about abutters, It's by land, right? I mean,
Mhm,
so it doesn't have anything to do with the water, because certainly the water coming through.
Yeah, if you're across the lake, that would,
Yeah, or how, so in the hotel wouldn't impact the water in any way?
They're not making, they're not significant changes to the water.
by what they're submitting as a zoning board, the only thing we're hearing is height. That's all we're doing.
Yeah,
So this
okay,
isn't the planning board or anything like that.
okay,
All we're doing is the height.
okay,
So,
40 to 59 feet.
correct. So that's all we're gonna, that's all we would have heard.
We're not doing traffic.
That's not
Lights,
set up.
yeah.
That would be the planning,
the planning board.
planning. board.
All
That's not
right,
us at
they
all.
better get ready.
Well, they better get ready.
But I would
We're just
think-
the height.
And but the state must know too, right?
I would think so. Now they most certainly would with this.
Yeah.
Regional impact would alert.
Yeah,
The state does already.
Right.
yeah.
Yes.
All right,
Okay.
interesting journey. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I hope you don't.
Hope to see you the 3rd.
You will. Thank
Sorry,
you.
Debbie.
Are we going back to your place?
Clear this fall.
I mean, I think we're down into 39, but
Yeah.
just about time.
Yeah. You want me
I'm
to
just gonna ask if you aren't staying for the rest of the cases, could you just move downstairs for your conversation?
Folks, we want to continue our meeting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, it's gonna radically change
Hi, Tim. I
the
didn't even
view.
see you
And
there.
then, you know, I was thinking it too, like, what's that?
I said our meeting's still called.
Yeah, college order.
We already did it.
Oh, no, college order for the rest of the meeting. Like, these people are still talking over here. They need to move on, maybe.
Leanne, we're just gonna keep moving
That's okay.
forward.
You can
Just
hear me
if,
saying, I want to keep going.
Huh.
Hey, let's continue.
All right.
Sorry, I was trying to clear people out.
No, it's okay, yeah.
Yeah.
We are gonna move to case ZB 22-03. That would be Ronald and David Pesa. All right, you guys come on up, and
Works.
usually how it goes is you guys read through your criteria and kind of talk about what you got going on.
Yeah, I'll get it. You can sit here, you can pull a chair up next to him if you want to sit.
Talking to the mic. State your name.
Pizza.
I just didn't bring my,
Do you need a copy?
if you have it right there. I'll take it. Evening.
Can we start?
Yeah.
Yep.
Hello, my name is Ronald Pesa. I'm David. And basically what we're here for today is
Right into the mic.
You pull.
Sorry.
Yeah, just pull it toward you. There you go.
For 491 West Main Street. It's been vacant for a couple of years, and we're just looking to get approval to make it a residential property again. There's already a house on it. It's been, like I said, vacant for a couple of years, and so nobody can live there as of now. So we're just coming here looking to get approval for that again.
What is exactly the variance they're looking for?
So this house is on West Main Street and it's in the commercial zone. It's an existing house, but it's been abandoned. So residential is non-conforming in the commercial zone. So after abandonment of more than a year, the use goes away. So they need a variance to continue the residential use beyond a year. You know, 1 year if there's a fire or once it's abandoned, that use is gone. So now it's commercial use.
Okay.
So they're looking to put back residential in that house.
It's the lot right next to the high school across from that.
Oh, I know exactly that house. Yeah, that has been abandoned. That's too bad. Now, are you raising this house or are you gutting it, rebuilding it?
So
Like what's exactly?
The house is going to be completely The house is gonna be completely destroyed.
Okay.
Now, we don't know whether we're gonna build a house just yet or put a module home, not a mobile module home. We haven't decided on that yet, but the house is going to be destroyed no matter what.
Sure.
But yeah,
So you're hoping to tear down the home and then put another single family?
that's the plan. We don't know that for certain, but the house is going to be destroyed, whether or not we're building a house or not.
Now, are they allowed to put a trailer there?
I don't know, that's the
Modular.
first I hear of
It's a
a trailer.
module.
Modular.
He corrected himself.
Not a
Okay,
module,
okay.
yeah, not a mobile home, yeah.
So you're just giving them a variance for the use,
That's
to
it.
allow a residential use,
That's it.
because it's lapsed.
Right.
Yeah, which
Okay.
it had, but then it lapsed.
It lapsed.
I also have one question.
Yeah.
So basically, if you guys give us this variance and then later on we decide that we don't want to build a house, but we want to use it for commercial use, how is that gonna work? I'm just asking, I'm not saying that's what I need it for, but.
Yeah, you can still do commercial, it's a commercial
In the
zone.
zoning.
You're just asking for a variance to allow residential. If you don't do residential, that's fine. You
I
don't
can
have
still-
to-
okay.
You're not forced to do residential. You're not
Okay.
gonna force a non-conforming use into the commercial zone. They're gonna decide if they're gonna allow you to use
do-
this as residential.
Okay.
So just for the record, we're just gonna have to have you read the 5 criteria that
Okay.
you have listed there in your responses.
So granting the variance would not be contrary to the public interest because a new home is going to be built and, I mean, street appeal will be uplifted. The existing house is pretty ugly to the eye, if you ask me. And there's houses all along the same street. Number 2, if the variance were granted, the spirit of the ordinance would be observed because it is a reasonable upgrade of its current use. You were once allowed to live there. Number 3, granting the variance would be a substantial justice because it would be a reasonable upgrade to the public eye. Existing home is falling apart, new home would make surrounding areas, buildings, I would assume more valuable than the existing state of it. Number 4, if the variance were granted, the values of the surrounding properties will not be diminished because anything replacing the building / home that is there now would only increase the value of the surrounding properties. Do I have to read A and I or? Yeah.
Yes, you have to
Okay,
read
all
that.
right. Number 5, unnecessary hardship. Owing to a special condition of the property that distinguish it from other properties in the area, denial of the variance would result in unnecessary hardship because no fair and substantial relationship exists between the general public purposes of the ordinance provision and the specific application of that provision to the property because without a variance, we cannot build a single family home. Denial of variance would affect other properties in the surrounding areas because the current home is falling apart and there has been no maintenance or care for the property in years. And number 2, the proposed use is a reasonable one because there's a home there already. It has just been vacant for years. We'll be replacing the home with a single family one that will be smaller, will not encumber the public or its safety. If anything, will benefit the public. B, explain if the criteria subparagraph A are not established, an unnecessary hardship will be deemed to exist if and only if, owing to special conditions of the property that distinguish it from the other properties in the area, the property cannot be reasonably used in strict conformance with the ordinance, and a variance is therefore necessary to enable a reasonable use of it. Property has been vacant for years without a variance. No one can build and or live on the property due to it being vacant for years. Variance is needed to build and or live there. I repeat myself multiple times.
Any questions?
I don't really have any questions.
I haven't gotten that far. Just you guys questions like that. Any abutters or public input on it? No? All right. We'll close the public portion and discuss amongst the board.
I have a question. Do you know what the setback is on the house now
What do you mean?
from Route 3? I just didn't know if you were gonna rebuild the house, if you're gonna put it in the same footprint, or would you go by what the setbacks are now?
Okay, so
So I'd rather see it with the, if it's 50 feet, I would rather see it further away from the road
Right.
than it is now, as long as it still fits on the property.
If anything, it's gonna be smaller than what it is now. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be in the same place. It's not gonna move any sort of feet or anything.
But you don't know the distance right off Route 3 right now?
No,
Off the state?
no,
Okay.
not off the top of my head, no.
I think the
So
front
the-
setback in that area is 30 feet.
Just 30 in
I
that?
think it's on 30.
I think he's at 30.
Okay.
If you kind of looking like that's half the lot.
Yeah.
I bet he's close right now.
And this is all that lot. Is it a conforming lot for a residential lot? Well, it's not a conforming lot at all, because it can't be residential there. Like, you don't know the size of it off the top of your head.
I think I have the card here.
When do you plan on starting this, if approved?
This summer.
This
Yeah,
summer?
Just waiting for approval.
Okay. So you own the property outright right now?
Yeah, my brother.
Okay.
It's 0.32 acres. And $20,000 square feet. So 0.32, can you do that? 0.32 times
20,000 is only half.
43560.
It's a half acre.
20,000 is a half acre.
Well, it's a little less than that.
So it's a little less than a buildable lot.
So what they have right now is less than a buildable lot?
What's 0.32 times 43560?
How can that not be a buildable lot? 1.32.
What's 0.32 times?
0.32 times 43560, which is an acre.
You mean divide, yeah. That's 13,000.
So it's
So it's 13,
13,000.
it's almost 14,000 square feet
14,000 square feet and 20,000
is the buildable lot size.
Right.
but it already has a use, so we're just addressing the use.
The use, yeah.
Okay. I have no further questions.
No questions? Finally, I guess my thing is, they obviously changed the zoning of the area after the house existed, which is why the house left there. But the zoning was there because the intent was to move that portion of town to a commercial portion of town. And obviously, the idea being that as residential homes not become residential anymore, the area becomes commercial. That's my only hang up. And is there a reason that this can't be a commercial lot and has to be a residential lot? That's it's the part I haven't wrapped my head around.
Right. It doesn't conform for a residential lot right now, but there's a house there.
Right.
Right, it is small. If you look at the map, you can see they kind of cut this out. I don't know when, but it is kind of neat. They cut this little box out and put a house on it. And then all that land in the back, so.
Is what's left of this lot behind it allow it to be used as commercial?
This
Like, do they
back
have
lot
enough
is
road
commercial.
frontage? Do they have enough road frontage to develop
The
this
back lot, yeah, 170. I believe they need 100.
Yeah. If you guys have any more questions, we can go through the,
Actually, I don't know if they have sewer. Do they have sewer?
is the house on sewer or is on septic?
It's on septic. Yeah, I think it's on
No,
septic.
it's a water, so town entity.
Town sewer.
All right, it's on sewer.
We don't know, we never go to the.
Yeah, I refuse to go on that.
You guys ready to go through the 5? Granting the variance would not be contrary to the public interest. I'm hung up that it's a commercial area of town, and the only reason it's a residential is because it existed when it got rezoned. And it's not like it's surrounded by residential lots, and it's the end lot on a resident. It's smack dab in the middle of a commercial chunk of town.
And by making it a residential, it's going to be non-conforming. It's going on a non-conforming lot.
Right, and it'll be
Now,
residential forever again, in theory. If the variance were granted, the spirit of the ordinance would be observed. Again, I kind of stuck on the same spot, but it's a residential spot, and it's not even mixed use, it's just straight commercial.
Interesting.
Granting the variance would do substantial justice. I can't find if there's a reason you can't use the lot for anything other than a home.
Residential, right.
If the variance were granted, the values of the surrounding properties would not be diminished. I couldn't, there's no hard evidence one way or the other on that one. Owing to unnecessary hardship, owing to a special condition of the property that distinguishes it from other properties in the area, denial of the variance would result in an unnecessary hardship. And I'm kind of in the same.
I don't see a hardship. Yeah.
Can I just say something?
Yeah.
Okay, so we already own a car dealership on this road on West Main Street, right on the corner. So IP Auto, if it's a problem becoming residential, we'll just make it another car dealership, if I'm gonna be honest with you. And then we'll just have two on the main street, but we just sold our house recently. We're living in our house right now for a year free. And we bought this property a little while ago for my dad's friend, he knows the guy. But we just wanted to build a single family home because we just sold our house. So we're just looking to move. I'm not trying to push you guys, but it's just, we just need to build a home, that's all I'm saying.
No, I understand. This is always the hard part for us is taking the individual and the story behind the case and then applying it to the town and the intent of the town.
Yeah, I understand.
Direction, that sort of thing. I'll take emotional. I don't have any other.
Does it even conform for a commercial lot?
Well, no, not for acreage.
How far? How much acreage does it need?
Something.
Same. It needs to be 25.
Because there's no residential.
It's just buildable. It
requirement,
doesn't
right.
matter.
Right, but it's a law, it's a legal law.
Yeah.
So they will be allowed to use it.
Mhm.
You can't deny them use.
The commercial
Law
use.
must have been around. I have to look back how old it is. Must have, like I said, predated.
Pretty sure it was used to be a farm.
What's that?
Probably all that land behind it was part of the farm.
Yeah,
That was
so
the
we
house.
subdivided it off and everything.
Yeah, he subdivided it.
All right. Well,
Any motions? I can make the motion. I make a motion. We do them in affirmative, right? I make a motion to approve zoning board case number 22-03.
I second it.
And seconded. Any other discussion?
No.
No? Those in favor? Those opposed? Nay?
Nay.
Nay.
And it does not pass.
One more item in you, Matt, is if you deny, you just have to say, for the record, which criteria you're denying based on.
Is it individuals or as a board?
No, as a board.
As a
As a
board?
board.
Okay.
So the denial is based on
Denial,
not meeting the criteria.
which particular
Yeah.
criteria?
Yep.
Okay. Play the exact one, just to make sure I.
Can I just ask one question?
Yeah.
Who do how do I get a demolition permit?
You'd have to see land use.
Okay.
For me, it's 2 and 3. I think the spirit of the ordinance is that area moves to a
To a
commercial
commercial.
area.
I would agree.
And there's not anything particular that makes it that it has to stay residential is where.
Nor do I see a hardship. Knowing what it was before you bought it,
Right.
there's no hardship there.
So it's 2, 3, and 5. Is that good enough?
Yeah, now the minutes will actually type up with those criteria.
Yeah.
So it's
Thank
not residential, I can't?
Correct.
Okay, all right.
Thank you for coming in.
Yep, thank you. Do you want this back? Or?
And that's a copy.
Okay.
And we want the original map, but we have that back.
Yep.
I'll give you the next one.
Okay.
I have two. Oh, yeah, great.
22-04, Brandon and Lauren Richard.
We might need that copy.
So again, we just, tell us what you guys are doing, and then if you don't mind reading in there the 5 criteria for the record.
Yep. All right, my name's Brandon Richard, and this is my wife Lauren Richard.
Even.
Hi.
And we live at 370 Caleb Hill Road, and we're trying to apply for a variance to get a pool, above ground pool on our land.
You're looking for a variance from the setback, right? That's what-
Yes, a variance from the setback. We're applying for the 20 feet. It was supposed to be 40 feet.
Well, it's 40 feet from the property, so we want to apply for the 20.
Right.
Oh.
Right. I guess just read them. Granting the variance would not be contrary to public interest because it's family use, it's private. If the variance were granted, the spirit of the ordinance would be observed because
Again, we didn't.
Not available?
Yeah,
No,
because it's a
no,
pool, so
so-
it's hard to.
Now, what is it about what your project that you guys are doing that
All
means
right.
you can't put it in the 40, within the setbacks?
So, so what it is, where we put it, we want to put it, it's more available for us to see the kids. And I mean, we just had a bunch of land cleared where we can't just level it all in the back. It'd be just too much for that. So that's why we want to put it in this spot in order.
the way our land is, it's very slopey. And this is roughly the best area for it. It's close to our garage, detached garage, which has its own electric panel, so we're not tying into the house or anything. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of excavation work just to bring it up a little bit to flatten it all out. But yeah, and we can't put in front of the house and everywhere else is taken. So it's roughly the only area that's available.
Where on this map, you can point out, are you talking?
It's hard to see the trees.
Yeah, so all these trees are gone now pretty much, but where we're
Okay.
going, it's actually like right in here. It's more like right in here.
Thank you.
I think they have on there.
Yeah, so, yeah, that's closer than what you were marking. Yeah, he's like right on it.
It's 20 feet.
Yeah,
They're looking probably looking at this.
where you
We got-
marked it
Yeah,
is
Oh,
like
yeah.
much further. That's not 20 feet.
It's hard to see because now with like the trees that are all gone.
That can't be drawn to scale at all, because looking at this, look at that.
The house drawing on
Is
the tax map.
Yeah. Yeah,
amateur.
because this, interesting. Because where I circled it, and I always, I like to say this, like, wants and desires aren't a hardship. And so the ordinance was put in place to protect your neighbor's property, and it's what the townspeople wanted. That's why they voted it in. And so I'm thinking there must be some sort of common ground. Like you're saying it has to be 20, why can't it be 30? Like push it back. And maybe you're a butter, who I'm assuming is right over here, is maybe more.
Yeah, I
agreeable.
mean, I have no idea what they think. I haven't heard from
Right.
them, so maybe if they wanted to.
20 feet's pretty close when there's a lot of room up there.
See, it looks like there's 48
All right.
feet between the driveway.
Yeah, we can,
48 feet.
we'll take public input.
Line.
See, I'm thinking like that.
I don't know what the lay of this land is.
Right.
Yes.
But that's again, his.
Yeah, you can just show it. It's up, yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Like he wants to put it here and their house is right there.
Okay, I just, what's the reference?
Mhm.
Yeah, so, you know,
Mhm.
And their house is right on the line. for some
So
reason.
I believe what they're saying is up here. The garage is here. To
Yeah.
the left of the garage.
To
is,
the
I
left
think-
and down the hill from the garage is what you
But
guys.
it's
Yes.
not as slow, this is if you look at the rest of the photos, it's a large property.
Yeah, so,
Now, you have to understand that our well is within the other side of the stone wall. So we have concerns as to the proximity because above ground pools do fail of our well, and the soundness of our well.
Is your well not within the setbacks of the well setbacks for the property? Is it like a?
I
it's
don't
gotta
know
be,
what the measurement is, but I know that it's on the other side and their water, if it spills out, will compromise our well. And what is our recourse on that?
ooh, I don't know. Is it gonna be a saltwater pool or a chlorine pool?
No.
Chlorine.
Some good testimony at the mic.
Yeah, it just it's recorded
So
in.
minute taker. That's my concern because I'm just talking to the mic. That's great, thanks.
I'm Carrie Gilpatrick, we're with the abutters next door, the 360 Gale Hill. So that's my concern is the well. I don't have any concern with use. I don't have any concern with them keeping it 40 feet, which is what the spirit of the ordinance is. We just recently bought the property in September. So we bought the property knowing what the ordinances were, what their allowances are. And now, I feel like if there's a variance granted when they have plenty of ample space because they want it there, that doesn't seem to be the spirit of the ordinance when that's not fairness to the abutter.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I just want to state that I didn't see anything in the petition, what the hardship is, why you're requesting 20 feet instead of the 40 feet, but you've already addressed that. It seems to be that there's plenty of room there. As long as, I feel like as long as there's no compromise to our well, it is set back from the road, it's not a problem. We know that. I don't have a problem with, pool being there, kids being there, noise, anything. I mean, I can't believe how much sound carries anyway. I hear you guys talking it in the driveway. It's amazing. Because there's so many trees there. But, if there's a need for it to be closer, as long as it's not within a compromising distance to our well, that's our main concern.
Noted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is your well a dug well? Or is it
Drill.
drilled? Okay.
And is it not within, because there's property line setbacks for wells, right? For this sort of
Yeah, I
thing.
mean, this is the first I hear of the well issue and I haven't researched where they well.
Okay.
It's a concern.
Yeah, do you want it into the records?
Lot 7?
It's a concern because I work with
Their
someone.
property is
Yeah.
8.
We work with the
Is
state of
eight.
New Hampshire,
8.
and I work
No,
with someone
these people.
who manages water system.
9A.
annually.
9A, okay.
And it was a concern for him as to, well, how would that affect your well? And then it was a concern for someone else that I work with because they said they used to live near someone who.
No, they would
above-ground
be
pool let
7.
go, And the
Yes.
water
Yeah.
went all into the neighbor's
Oh, all
yard.
right.
Yeah, because I was like, that's already,
And
maybe there shouldn't be an
that
issue.
could cost us money to have to repair, the well and, sanitize, and it's a concern to me.
Oh, thank you.
There's 7.
Yeah, they
You're
have to be
9?
7.
I'm not trying to, I just don't know the answers. I don't know the lay of the land. I don't know how water would flow. I don't know where it's the setbacks are. I just can't.
So you drill.
If it were to collapse, it would go down the slope.
Towards our property.
Yeah, I don't, that's what I don't know the topographical layout of the property, so I don't. So I guess where I'm kind of, is there something that makes it 20 feet? Like, can it be 30 feet?
It
Can
could be 30
35 feet.
So you
Can you get within the setbacks?
Like, see where I'm circling,
Yes, we could, but that's going to involve a lot more.
where I'm circling, it looks like that's where your establishment is. It's got to be level there.
That's where our septic is. Our septic is probably right on the side of that circle. And that's all sloped downhill.
So your lot 9A or their lot 9A?
They're 8.
They're 8.
They're 8. The
Okay.
butters
Oh, so you drew
are
it on-
7,
Okay. All right.
and it slopes down towards them. It can't slope towards the house,
It's-
because the house must be on flat.
It
I
slopes
think the house
down
is on
that.
a little bit of a knoll, if I remember right.
Yeah.
For the neighborhood. Did you just have a bunch of logging just done?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry.
I guess
I think they got kind of.
the other thing I'm thinking too is if whether it's at 20 feet or 30 feet or 40 feet, it's gonna collapse.
The water's gonna go downhill either way, yeah. If you just finish reading the four criteria there.
I don't even know where I left. Oh, yeah.
You read
Granting the variant, number 3, granting the variance would do substantial justice because my family and friends would enjoy an above ground pool. If the variance were granted, the values of the surrounding properties would not be diminished because an above ground pool can be dismantled at any time. Unnecessary hardship, owning a special condition of the property that distinguish it from the other properties in the area. Denial of the variance would result in unnecessary hardship because no fair and substantial relationship exists between the general public purposes of the ordinance provision and the specific application of that provision to the property because there would be no hardship. And the proposed use is a reasonable one because we would be able to swim in our above ground pool with my kids who enjoy the water.
You do know saying that there was no hardship, right? The hardship is at times why you're applying for a variance. You know
Well,
what
I feel
I'm saying?
like, yes, but I
You're
feel like
saying
also
there is
too,
no
I feel like
hardship.
a hardship, it's more,
Like this is what I'm reading.
yeah.
You're like saying there's no hardship, so then I'm asking, why are we here this evening? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's kind of like you like incriminating yourself.
Yeah, I mean, it's our first go around. We didn't really know.
But you know what
to
I'm
put.
saying?
Yeah.
By saying there's no hardship, I'm
Yeah, so we have to
tending
meet
to
all 5
agree.
criteria, they say.
Yeah.
We can't say, oh, well, we got 4 out of 5. Once you
Yeah.
don't have them all, kind of a,
Hmm.
unless there's a case to be made that there's a hardship by not getting the variance.
Right, there's no other level spot to put it or.
No other ability to do it. I don't know how much, we can't really provide too much. I'm trying to.
Right.
It's kind of like you have to make your case for why
Okay.
this has to be granted.
Yeah,
Maybe it doesn't. Maybe you feel that maybe you don't need it now, which is fine, but it's a case like because you're asking to break regulations that have been established. So why should they allow you to do something that will say, I can't do, I have to meet the setbacks, everyone has to meet the setbacks. But there's sometimes are extenuating circumstances, like there's a rock cliff right there, and there's no other place, or there's a, whatever the circumstance is, well, that you can't put your pool anywhere else. Like some people have really small lots, and they're just tied to that because of the nature of the lot. So you have to make a case for why this is what you need to use your property.
So
and if we hear this to the end right now, then that's it. It's done. I'm correct on that.
Right.
So I believe this is the only spot for it because that would be comfortable for us to watch the kids and I don't know, just we can't put it in the front of the house because it can't be more than whatever, like
It can't
towards,
be in the house, right?
yes.
I mean, we
Yeah.
would
Need a
put it
variance
closer
back.
to the garage, but I'm pretty sure you need to be a certain setback from that, am I correct?
No, not for above ground. No.
Okay.
Yeah, it's basically just all the land, how the slopes, there's stumps, there's rocks. And this is generally the only area that we can do it without going down into the woods and bringing in a bunch of machinery to clear out land and then finishing it all off. So, I mean, without a bunch of excavation work, I think this is the only spot to really put it.
Should we ask for clarification on 2? Just because we just have, like, it's the same thing. We have to have all 5 criteria
Okay.
met.
Yeah, number 2 is not applicable.
So we don't have to vote on this tonight?
No, and if you want to visit the site, I mean, that's an option. I'm not saying you have to or should, but if that
And you
will
are
help
more than
people
welcome.
understand, you can do that. You can make a decision, you can continue it. You want more information on your butter and the well location, more testimony, but it's all whatever you need.
Sure. I don't feel like the applicant was prepared, knew what they were getting into.
I would say at this point in time, it's not looking good.
But I don't know how to, I don't think they knew what they were filling out when they filled this out.
That is correct.
Uh-huh.
I mean, again, it's an above ground pool, so I didn't really know exactly.
So you don't
What-
have to have us vote on this tonight. You
Okay.
do not wish to vote us to vote on this tonight.
Okay.
They can pull this if they so desire.
Yeah, you can withdraw your application and then they can.
Resubmit an
You can
application.
resubmit another application, but you will have to resubmit with a butter notices and pay another fee and all that. So know that.
And that wouldn't be until May.
Correct.
Correct.
Which-
Right.
I mean, yeah.
You can also offer that you can put it further away if the board certainly can negotiate that if they think 30 feet.
I like the idea of coming out to look at it, but that's just me.
Could you guys be open to going to visit the site?
What would that be, a continuum?
Yep, you just continue it to do a site visit for more information. And you're just collecting evidence.
Sure. Yeah, so how do we motion that? A
Just
motion
like
to
you could have a
continue?
Motion to continue it to,
We have to pick a date for a site visit with them now.
Okay.
you can continue it to the May, the early May meeting if you want.
You could do it the 3rd.
You mean with the other one?
You certainly can if you want. If you like.
If you want to sort of take that.
Oh, wow.
That might get moved anyway, now.
Another day?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think
Okay,
the applicant requested an extension, so.
Okay.
They might not even be there, so you've already got a meeting posted.
Okay.
You'd save them 2 weeks, I know
Right.
that summer coming.
Oh, I see what you're saying. We already have a posted meeting. We could meet that day
Right.
for them.
Oh, sure.
And if Anchorage continues, that's fine, you just have them. That's just an option.
Okay. Take a motion on that. If somebody is so obliged.
Can I say something?
Of course you can.
What if like the neighbors looked at it and we saw where their well was to see if there's something that we could do?
You guys could all work together on this by the time we get out there and do something. I mean, that's how it works, neighbors working with neighbors. I understand the concern. I would be concerned. There's got to be a compromise here somewhere.
Mhm.
I do. As it stands, 20 feet from the line and whatnot, I would probably say you probably would wish for a continuum.
Okay.
I think visiting the site is a good idea.
I do
Yes.
too. I do.
And so
Let's see what we're looking at.
you can motion to continue, and then you should motion for a date for the sidewalk, so the public knows when you'll be
Okay.
there. That's agreeable with the applicant, that's a time and date, and everyone is for the record. So we know when those 2 dates are, because that'll be a meeting.
Ooh, oh, yes, I
We
remember.
talked about it.
Yeah.
Someone want to make a motion for the continuum?
I motion to continue, ZB 22-04, until May 3rd,
At 6 o'clock at the police station.
at 6 o'clock at the police station.
Second. Those in favor? Or is there any discussion on that? Those in favor?
Aye.
That passes. And then we need to choose a date for a sidewalk.
That everybody can.
Is there a date in particular that works for you?
As soon as possible.
Let's do it before the black flies.
Yeah,
It's got to be before the 3rd.
it's got to be before the 3rd.
Next Tuesday?
Next Tuesday. I'm sure I can make that.
You're the one's got the.
Tuesday.
I have the hardest schedule.
Was that
I
the
work that day,
27th?
but
Is that the
it's just up the
27th?
road.
26.
26. Does that work for you?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
So what time?
I'm open. That's actually April break.
Yeah,
Just
Yeah, anytime?
Yep. Tuesday's fine.
Anytime Tuesday?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I asked if we can do earlier the better, if I attend for record purposes, because I have a planning board meeting, but not till 6:30. So if we did it like at 5:30, if that works.
You can
We can
do
do it earlier.
3.
Earlier, that would be great for me.
Yeah, we can do 3, 4, whatever you want.
Whatever you want.
3 o'clock?
3 o'clock,
3 o'clock.
3,
3 o'clock?
Works for me.
3?
I'll be at work. So.
That,
Okay.
is that okay?
Okay.
3 o'clock.
Tuesday, April 26th.
For April 26th, 3 PM, site walk.
We'll meet at the site at their property.
Yeah,
Mhm.
at Caleb Hill Road,
357.
357,
370.
370?
Yep.
Is there a sign up, like a number out there?
There's a mailbox and there's.
And it says 370 on it?
Yeah.
Okay,
It's an ugly mailbox. You won't make that.
it's all good.
All right.
All right.
Yes.
Not done yet.
No, we need to motion to accept
Minutes.
the minutes.
I don't think you'll send.
Nominations for officers.
What?
It's been that
No.
long.
No, nothing changes.
Nobody's moving.
No, no.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What do you got there?
That was just for, just
Oh.
notes of that, just to keep things.
Yeah.
Square.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I didn't even look at that. I went right over the top.
And your address is 360.
So what was she saying about this?
What's that?
The Anchorage thought? That they're already moving with me?
I don't know, they wanted to extend it even further, you said?
Anchorage.
Yes, thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we should do nominations of officers.
Okay.
Get that and I'll tell you.
Yep.
Although this gentleman showed up.
Are
Did you?
you here for the Anchorage?
Or I was.
Yeah, we're so sorry, sir.
Sorry.
All right.
Sure, I was sure from there.
Copy of the-
Yeah.
Years, I had no clue what
I feel you.
Yes.
Very helpful.
Yes.
Oh, thank
I enjoyed it immensely.
Thank you.
I learned a lot.
Any nominations for chair?
I motion for the continuation of Matt Gilman to be the chairman of the zoning board.
I second it.
Oh, man.
Oh, with eyes? Aye.
I'll figure this out.
No
eventually.
discussion.
How about vice chair? I nominate Eric stays as the vice chair.
I wasn't the vice
You
chair.
weren't the vice chair?
No, I was like,
I think.
No, you weren't.
You were.
Yeah.
You are. You are. You didn't even, you were absent that night.
I think you weren't there.
Yeah.
I thought it was like the secretary or something
Yeah, that was
weird.
before.
Oh.
We promoted you.
Yeah, you were missing.
See that? You did such a great job.
Oh, yeah.
I'll second that one.
All right, those in favor?
Aye.
Eric is the vice chair, and we need a clerk. I don't even know we have a clerk.
I didn't even know what a clerk does.
And the clerk is supposed to keep the votes and make sure that the motions are made and correctly voted. For the formal record, it should be a member. So sometimes on bigger boards, they call the roll call, if there's a roll call.
Oh, I remember we used to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we stopped doing that.
It's been
It was easy. Yeah, it's been faster.
They should check the minutes to make sure that the votes, I mean, we haven't had any votes that were close, but
Right.
make sure the votes are right for the record.
Great, one of you came on.
Who wants to be clerk? Any nominations? You guys gonna duel it out, pistols at dawn? I nominate Brian.
Oh, I second that. I'll vote for
Those in
Brian.
favor?
Aye.
And it passes. Brian's the clerk.
There you go.
All right, any other business? Oh, we gotta do minutes.
Oh,
January 18 minutes.
I make a motion to accept the minutes from our last meeting.
January 18. I second that. Any discussion on it?
No.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Minutes are accepted. And any other business?
I have one little quick thing. I just want, you all have your new books.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh,
There's a new ethics policy. And I'm
I'm
just
not
gonna hand it out and you're gonna sign that you received it,
Mm.
initial.
your receipt, you don't have to sign it, you just need to have it.
This is how you get out of being chairman.
Ah.
So now I'll have your ethics policy, you have your new legal book.
Yeah.
Oh, where is, oh, is it all on that?
I think the signature's here.
Oh, okay, this is, we were,
You just
This is-
keep
oh,
that.
this was handed.
Right.
The stuff
This
saying
is,
And it's saying you
that
got
you'll
it.
be-
all right.
Oh, we had this in, oh, this
Yeah.
is, yeah. So what do we do?
Just initial that you've received it and I give that back to
Okay,
Gail. and
that's-
She
I'm gonna
knows that
take
I
what you got down
distributed
there.
it.
Oh, yeah, we had to do this for the Parks Commission.
All right.
Thank you.
Now, is that everything then?
Got anything else over there?
I don't think so.
No?
I'm just like, okay.
All
Motion
right.
to adjourn?
Okay, motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second it.
Made and seconded. Those in favor of adjourning the meeting?
Aye.
The meeting is adjourned.